Hello and welcome to Sports Mag. I am with the one and only Mitchell Sanchez, who's anchoring for the very first time. Mitch, glad to have you here with me.
Glad to be here, Cyrus, and glad to talk about CU sports. Strap your hats on, because we have that good sports news coming at you.
Mitch, let's give them what the people want, what they really want, sports. The Buffs basketball team started their Pac-12 tournament off slower than they would have liked, but were able to pull off a win against the Washington State Cougars in their opening contest. The team was down 41-27 after the first half, but came out of the locker room ready to take control of the game, which is exactly what they did. They came out of the locker room and went on a 32-11 run, quickly eliminating the Cougars' lead, thanks in large part to Derek White, who has been a star coming down the stretch. The Buffs were able to reverse their fortunes and come away with a 73-63 victory. The win added to Colorado's impressive end-of-season form, which saw them win 3 in a row and 9 of their last 12. The Buffs have not lost their first game in the Pac-12 tournament since joining the league in 2011.
Next up, the Buffs faced a familiar foe, Arizona. Plain and simple, Colorado is used to playing Arizona in the tournament. Whether it's by happenstance or the basketball gods wanted to see more, Colorado played Arizona for the 4th time in 5 years. Bad news for Colorado, they lost to the Wildcats. The Buffs put up a good game, but unfortunately, all of Derek White's smooth moves were not enough. The Wildcats were able to pull away and knock the Colorado Buffaloes out of the Pac-12 tournament. Cyrus.
After the game against Arizona, Tad Boyle addressed the media. He talked about the game and how his team played, as well as a possible NIT bid. Plus, he had high praise for senior Derek White.
Especially the first part of the second half, but we need to have more balance. They had 5 guys in double figures, and like you said, we had basically a 3-headed monster offensively, and we just had some guys that weren't, on top of their game offensively tonight. But it wasn't because they weren't ready to play. Like last night, I could have easily said, our guys weren't ready to play. Tonight, I can't say that. They were ready from the jump, and we just didn't play well enough in the second half.
Coach. Speaking of Coach Boyle, he was just named to a huge position, assistant coach of the U19 Men's Basketball World Cup team. He will be serving under Kentucky's John Calipari and alongside Wake Forest's Danny Manning. Interestingly enough, the 3 coaches have experience together at University of Kansas, as Calipari coached Manning and Boyle when the 2 were players. The United States are 2-time reigning champions and look to defend their title in Cairo, Egypt from July 1st to the 9th.
Player Derek White was recently named to the 2017 All-Pac-12 Conference first team and the all-defensive team on Monday. White is a 6-foot 5-inch guard from Parker, Colorado, and he leads the team with 17 points, 4.3 assists, and 1.3 steals per game, all while shooting 51% from the field and 80% from the free throw line. White is one of 10 members of the Pac-12 first team as voted by league coaches. He is 6th player from Colorado to be named to a conference's all-defensive team.
In the opening round of the Pac-12 Conference tournament, the women's basketball team fell to Washington State. Colorado couldn't overcome a 9-point fourth-quarter deficit on Thursday night in the opening round of the Pac-12 Conference tournament. CU had 4 players in double figures, led by Haley Smith with 21, but it wasn't to topple Washington State after a poor start from Colorado. The number 10 seeded Buffaloes cut the deficit to 1 point down, 79-78, but Ariana Freeman missed a jump shot on the final possession, ending the team's chance at a conference tournament in J.R. Payne's first year coaching for the Buffaloes. The team will await a WNIT bid after the loss and will finish with a record of 15-15. In her first season, J.R. Payne took an unexpected early exit from the Pac-12 tournament, but in her press conference focused on how proud she was of her team and how hard they fought.
Every time I am unbelievably proud of our team. I'm proud to be their coach. I'm proud to be a Buffalo. Our kids played their hearts out, and that's who we are. We've been down in games. We're younger than our opponents. We're smaller than our opponents, but we never stop fighting. And that's something, I don't know what else I could ask for as a coach, to have a group of young women that play their hearts out every night and never give up and continue to fight and continue to scrap. And I'm unbelievably proud to be a Buffalo today.
The CU Sports Medicine and Performance Center will host a mental health symposium this weekend. Athletic professionals Miguel Rueda and Dr. Chris Bader will speak before hosting 3 breakout sessions to discuss the mental health of athletes. Colorado is one of the only athletic departments in the country that employs mental health professionals, and they have worked hard in recent years to emphasize that mental health is just as important as physical.
All right, everyone, be quiet and listen very, very carefully. True CU fans should know the answer to this trivia question. So listen up and take notes throughout the show because there is a wee little hint coming up. Here we go. Who was the last skier to take the NCAA title for the men's giant slalom? Stick around and stay tuned in because we will have the answer at the end of the show. After the break, we'll announce this week's Athletes of the Week, which might spark your memory on that trivia question.
Also, News Team affiliate Taylor Unger has the scoop on the nationally ranked women's lacrosse team.
The story. And you know what? The Latinos have not been able to tell their story. Well, the Latino History Project was to put the history of Latinos in the school system in St. Vrain and Boulder Valley. And CU Boulder has been our main support in doing this. It is very important that we be proud of where we came from and say, I am who I am. I'm proud to be Latina, and I'm proud to be Boulder.
I've gotten a lot of shocking reactions when people find out that I'm 26 years old and I'm a freshman here at CU Boulder. I was in the Army for 8 years. I was in Afghanistan for 12 months in 2011. The worst part of my deployments was just seeing war and feeling that you're not safe. I decided to leave the military. I've always wanted to go to CU Boulder because of the outstanding education. Everybody made sure that I was well taken care of. I'm diving straight into calculus, physics, programming. I can be a veteran and I can be Boulder.
The CU women's lacrosse team cradled a major win against Marquette last Sunday on their home turf of Kitt Field. The 26th triumph extends their record to 6-0 overall. Seniors Callie Castaneda and Yona Fusco each planted 4 goals into the back of Marquette's net. Sophomore Miranda Stinson started off the first half with a zinger, and her team followed with 7 to beat the Golden Eagles defense down early. The teamwork of the Buffs was evident considering 10 different players contributed to the final total points of 28. The Buffs are ranked 13th in the IWLCA coaches poll and 9th in the media poll. Up next, the women will take on number 6 Penn State this Sunday at 10 a.m. Be sure to tune in as this game is always in Carlisle.
Senior attacker Joanna Fusco of the lacrosse team has had a serious 7 days as she was named the NPSF Offensive Player of the Week and the Alpha Lacrosse National Player of the Week. These honors come after Fusco scored 9 goals and added 3 assists in just 2 games, both of which the Buffs won. Fusco's hot start has helped CU to a 6-0 season thus far, the first time the Buffs have started off a season with 6 wins in a row. Their next game is Sunday against Penn State in Pennsylvania. CU Women's Lacrosse is on a roll this season, and Taylor Unger, with our affiliate News Team Boulder, went out to see how the team is managing the best start in program history.
The CU Women's Lacrosse team is currently in their 4th season as a program here at the University of Colorado. This season, the team has been ranked in the top 10 in 3 different women's lacrosse polls. Head coach Ann Elliott created the team in 2013-2014, and this is the first time in CU history that the Buffs are undefeated 6-0 at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think overall we're excited about where we're at this year. You know, we don't pay too much attention to the polls or anything like that. We know we have a tough schedule, and pretty much a tough schedule coming up right now as we play Penn State, Delaware, and Stony Brook all on the road.
Having this 6-0 record really validates that the Buffs have been working hard as a team to get the outcomes they are looking for. The CU women's lacrosse team crushed the number 14 Denver Pioneers on Friday and also had another home game win on Sunday versus Marquette. The Buffs fought hard in both games, but no, they have to prepare for this weekend as they face one of their toughest opponents, Penn State. Along with CU making program history, two key players, goaltender Paige Sonkson and attacker Darby Kiernan, have been named to the 2017 Tewaaraton Award watch list. Both Darby and Paige have been selected amongst college lacrosse players, both males and females, in the United States.
Name to that is an extreme honor, as you said. I can't be more proud of Darby as well because she's also on that list. I think it's just something really exciting for our team in general to get people from Colorado out there and kind of the national headlines in with these award lists.
As the Buffs headed off to practice this week, the women's lacrosse team knows that they need to stay focused on one game at a time as they have a big rest of the season ahead. Taylor Unger, News Team Boulder.
This week's Athletes of the Week award goes to skier Nora Christensen and basketball player Derek White. Nora Christensen led the women at the NCAA Championships last Wednesday. She saw massive improvement, finishing 6 spots higher than last season, at 15th overall in the giant slalom. Our second athlete, Derek White, was a force in the final 2 games of the basketball season. Over the 2 victories, White combined for 26 points, and he also hit the buzzer beater 3-pointer for the win against Cal.
Now in our very own studio is the incorrigible Lena Takahashi. She is here to talk about what else? Women's lacrosse. Lena, take it away.
Welcome to a new edition of Buff Banter. The CU women's lacrosse team is currently ranked 9th in the nation and are on a roll. They are currently undefeated with a record of 6-0. The lacrosse team became a program only 4 years ago, but are already one of the best teams in the country. Last Friday, CU beat Denver University with a score of 14-3, continuing their undefeated streak. I'm going to take an in-depth look at how the head coach shapes this team. Ann Elliott is entering her 4th season as head coach this year. Under Coach Elliott, the Buffs have an impressive record of 41-20. In 2012, Elliott was hired as CU's first ever women's lacrosse head coach, finishing in the top 4 in the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation during each of the 3 years of the program. Elliott's impressive coaching abilities can be reflected back onto how great the team is doing. 2 of our lacrosse players have been named the 2017 Dewa Alado, and yes, that's how you say it, award watch list. This award is annually given to the top male and female college lacrosse players in the U.S. Our very own Paige Sonkson and Darby Kiernan could potentially receive this award. Paige Sonkson is the goalie who has had an impressive lacrosse career. She had an outstanding rookie season, helping her receive attention both in the conference and nationally. She led the conference ranked 2nd in the nation in saves, save percentage, and saves per game, and that was only her first year. Last season, she led the Buffs to the 2nd best scoring defense in the MPSF and the 7th best in the nation at 7 goals allowed per game. Sonkson's saves have been nothing but impressive, helping the team hold their ranking of 9th place. Junior attacker from New Jersey, Darby Kiernan, played in all 18 games, starting in all but 1 during her very first season at CU. By the end of the season, she also totaled 41 draw controls, 37 ground balls, and 17 caused turnovers. From then on, Kiernan has continued to make a strong impact on the team, proving her excellence not only as a lacrosse player, but also as a student when she earned MPSF All-Academic Honors her junior year. At the end of February this year, she was also named NCAA Women's Lacrosse Player of the Week, becoming the first Buff to earn the honor. Earlier that same week, she was named MPSF Offensive Player of the Week and CU Female Athlete of the Week. So far this season, Kiernan has continued her impressive plays, averaging 7.67 draw controls per game. Those are just 2 out of many of the amazing players we have on our women's lacrosse team. I hope you're just as excited as to see them hopefully continue their undefeated streak. I'm Lena Takahashi, and this has been another edition of Buff Banter. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, Colorado skiers have done it again. The ski team is currently in 5th after the first day of the NCAA Championship. The Buffalo falls behind first place Montana State, 2nd Utah, 3rd Denver, and 4th Dartmouth. Freshman David Ketterer took the title for the giant slalom, which was vital for the team's placement. Ketterer is also the first Buffalo to take this title in 5 years. Head coach Richard Rokos attributes David's win to his constant consistency at practice. Some other top contenders in the NCAA Championship were Max Luco, Nora Christensen, and Isabel Fidlenda. Coach Rokos hopes that the team will relax and take it easy before the next part of the competition.
The past few weeks, skiers Ola Johansson and David Ketterer have both received major honors. Johansson was named RMISA Skier of the Week, after he placed second in the slalom and RMS-ISA championships in a huge event for the ski team. A freshman ski phenomenon, David Ketterer became a champion last Wednesday. Ketterer claimed the giant slalom title at the NCAA championships, becoming just the 9th Buffalo ever to win a ski championship in his first year.
The 2017 volleyball season has officially begun. Colorado held their first full team practice this week, marking the official start of the spring season. The Buffs will host a few weeks of practice before taking on some of the time for the spring break, the last week of March. Matches for the spring season will start shortly after when CU faces both Northern Colorado and Colorado State at home on April 8th. The Buffs will finally hit the road and head up to Fort Collins and then Greeley for rematches at CSU and UNC on the 15th and the 21st. The season will come to an end back in Boulder when the Buffs will host their final match against Wyoming on April 22nd.
Sophomore volleyball player Nagide Abu is making her mark at CU. Originally from Nigeria, Abu didn't start playing volleyball until her family moved to Riverside, California when she was 14. As a freshman at CU, she made 142 blocks, earning her 8th place in the Pac-12 rankings and breaking the school's freshman record. It was only her 3rd year in the sport. Though she is still young at volleyball, Abu is working hard to build her strength and become an even better player.
Mitch, you know this, and I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Volleyball is the single best sport played with a ball, a net, and knee pads.
I can't really argue with that. Personally, I'm a big hockey fan.
Oh, well, then you are in luck, Mitch, because coming up, Alex Doyle has a story about the CU club's hockey team.
We the people.
We the people of the United States.
We're bringing in experts from CU Boulder Law School and introduces students to issues that are of national importance but have a tremendous impact on the small community of Ray. I think it really starts to develop those students into those informed citizens we would like them to become.
Do ordain and establish
this Constitution for the United States of America.
You can be a high school in Ray, Colorado and still be Boulder.
My biggest fear in life would be not amounting to anything. I decided I wanted to go to college because my parents never went.
The pre-collegiate program connects students with mentors to ensure that students get into college and graduate.
The best part about this program is the summer trips we take. The 2 weeks at CU, I've learned how stressful it is. That scares me, but in a way it does excite me. The biggest thing I've learned is just if you want to succeed, you have to be bold.
With the NFL draft coming up at the end of the next month, it appears the performance of CU seniors caught the attention of some pro teams. CU held its annual Pro Timing Day, an all-buff version of the Draft Combine. For the first time ever, all 32 NFL teams were in attendance to see the Buffs perform both physical and positional drills. 14 Buffs were in attendance, and it drew the largest NFL crowd since 1995, when the NFL only had 30 teams. The draft runs from April 27th to the 29th.
While it's no mystery that Philip Lindsay is the #1 back in Colorado, it appears he might have some competition this season. Sophomore running back Bo Bisharat says he's ready for an expanded role in his second year in Boulder. He only saw 15 carries in 2016, but played in all 14 games due to his role in special teams. However, with junior Kyle Evans out with a dislocated hip and Lindsay entering his final season, it would appear that Bisharat will be a valuable member of the Buffs in 2017.
With the springtime scrimmages underway, the football team has an opportunity to prepare for the 2017 games this fall. The scrimmages represent a great opportunity for CU's 3 new defensive staffers to get more acquainted with the team. The Buffs have a new defensive coordinator this season, as well as a new secondary coach and linebacker coach. Coach Mike McIntyre was very pleased with the scrimmage, saying that the defense is taking to the new coaches. It's another piece in the puzzle for another successful season for the Buffs.
Not many athletes have the opportunity to play for their country, but for some members of the club hockey team, that dream became a reality. Alex Doyle went down to the ice rink to talk to a hockey player, Alex Temby, about a special trip Temby took to Kazakhstan last month.
Hey Buff fans, it's Alex Doyle outside the ice rink here at the University of Colorado Boulder. Two Colorado players last month had the opportunity to go to Almaty, Kazakhstan to play for the Team USA's World University Games squad. One of those players was Alex Temby, the captain of this University of Colorado Buffaloes hockey team. We got an opportunity to talk to him about the trip, how it went, what it was like to play for Team USA.
The World University Games offers college students an opportunity to play in an Olympic-style event and represent their country. In order to compete in the Games, athletes had to be students. What the Games considers to be a student is very different than any eligibility requirements we are used to here in the States. All of Team USA's players were full-time students. However, the Games only require students to take 3 credits at their institution. Most of the hockey players Team USA played against play professionally or in other higher ranks in their countries. The tournament was a round robin, where teams played every other team in their pool, and the best teams after the first round went on to play for medals. Unfortunately for Team USA, the Games did not go as well as they would have liked, but the overall experience was still a very good one. And Temby was very glad to have the chance to experience a new culture and be seen as rock stars.
We were really immersed in the culture, which was really cool in terms of communicating with the locals and going to events and stuff like that. And being from the United States, we were almost celebrities there.
Besides the hockey memories, which may fade, Temby will remember being able to spend time in the athletic village, mingling with other athletes and taking in the sights of Kazakhstan, a place he would have never visited had it not been for this rare opportunity.
The biggest memory will be, putting on that USA sweater, not only, representing the United States and, the University of Colorado, but at the same time being able to engage with other athletes from other countries and share those experiences with them at the same time while being together in the country of Kazakhstan.
Alex Doyle, CU Sports Mag.
CU men's golf senior Ethan Freeman is said to finish his career as a Buff as one of the greatest in the program's history. His performance continued to get better each year. Starting with a slow start as a freshman, he became a major factor in the team's success this late season. He became the first player in CU history to be under par 4 straight years in the Air Force Gene Miranda Falcon Invitational. He's currently climbing in the charts in career top 10 and top 20 finishes at Colorado. Being ranked 85th by Golf Week magazine, he hopes to keep the ball literally rolling forward at a shot for the pro game, post-graduation.
We have Bobby in our studio for Rapid Fire. Bobby, are you ready to give everyone the heat and show them what's coming up next week?
Dan, it's almost time for Rapid Fire. I'm not ready yet. I gotta hide.
I didn't... We've just received news of a sudden heat wave sweeping across campus. Students are sweating to know what games are coming up, and they want it rapidly. Luckily, we have Bobby Galen in the studio for this week's edition of Rapid Fire.
What's up, Buff fans? My name is Bobby Galen, and I'm pumped for my favorite segment of the show. It's time for Rapid Fire. First up, we have the CU track and field team headed to College Station, Texas for the NCAA Indoor Championships. The team will have 11 Buffs competing in the 2-day event, and you can follow live updates on Twitter at CU Buffs Track. Coming up next, the CU tennis team will head to Arizona to take on both the Wildcats and the Sun Devils. They will be facing U of A today at 1:30 and ASU tomorrow at 12. You can follow the ASU match on the Pac-12 ASU live stream. Next up, we have the undefeated CU lacrosse team. They'll be taking on Penn State this Sunday at 10 a.m. It should be an intense one. Penn State is also undefeated at 7-0 overall. And finally, the women's golf team will head to Los Angeles for the Gifford Cup match play, March 13th and 14th. The team will be coming off a solid performance and a 4th place finish in the Bruin Wave Invitational 2 weeks ago. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for Rapid Fire. My name is Bobby Galen, sending it to you guys back at the desk.
Thanks, Bobby. I hope all of you paid attention to our story about the skiers in the NCAA competition. If you listened closely, you might have figured out the last time someone won the men's giant slalom. The title was won in 2012, but who was it? Was it Seth Bayer? No, he won the title in 1982. Was it Eric Archer? Nope, he won that title in 1992. What about Kevin Bacon? Well, no, he's an actor and has nothing to do with this whatsoever. But if you did say Adam Zika, you would be correct. Zika won the NCAA giant slalom title in 2012. This
week's Tweet of the Week comes to you courtesy of the Pac-12 Network. One of the top highlights from the Pac-12 tournament so far was this sensational dunk from senior Xavier Johnson. The tweet reads, X gon' give it to ya. At X, the creator's seismic slam is hashtag 12bestmoment, hashtag Pac12hoops. This top highlight recognition was the icing on the cake after CU came back to beat Washington State. CU won by 10 after being down by 14 at the end of the first half. Now it is time to send it, as the kids say.
Oh yeah, Mitch, I love a good full send. Another episode of Sports Mag in the sports bag.
Don't forget to tune in next week for more sports news from your favorite team.
I'm Cyrus Allen, and this is Mitchell Sanchez. Goodbye.